Hey folks, it's Tuesday, September 1st, and this is your daily forecast. So today is a little packed. The first thing that I want you to do is just watch my introduction video where I talk about assignment one. And then, even though it seems really tempting to skip it, I want you to read the assignment one handout. It is on the longer side, but that's because I included information in there to help you complete the assignment. And if you don't read it, you're going to have trouble completing the assignment, okay? I also just want you to check out these really important assignment one due dates. We're going to have a writing studio on Thursday, September 10th. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have your paper drafted by then, but some of you might do that for extra credit. On peer review, Tuesday, September 15th, everyone has to have a draft, and then that assignment one is due on the 29th of September, okay? So task 2 is going to ask you to learn how to understand the anatomy of an academic article. That's actually one of the key learning outcomes of this class. So there is a really helpful video lecture. It's kind of me doing a duet with a video on academic articles. So go ahead and watch that. You're going to learn a little bit about active reading strategies for academic articles, and I also included an example right here of how I take notes on academic articles. There's just the open secret is that if you are someone who is a scholar, you can't just read an article and not take notes on it. You have to read the article and take notes on it at the same time to actually process that stuff, all right? So the last thing that I'm going to ask you to do today is to watch another video, but I promise this is a helpful one, where we're actually going to talk about how to read academic articles together collaboratively. Generally, when we do face-to-face courses, I have people read articles alone and take a lot of notes on them and show me those notes, but I think that given our remote situation, that might be a little bit lonely to do and might be a little bit more confusing, so I've actually made it easier. So we're actually going to read and comment on the academic articles that I assign you collaboratively, which is going to be a huge benefit because it means that you are going to not be confused when you're reading it. You're always going to have peers in that document with you. So do read this. Go ahead and watch this video where I explain what the active reading exercise is. Then obviously, I want you again to read the active reading exercise handout. We're actually going to be doing 9 different active reading exercises in class, so it's really important that you understand what I'm looking for to make sure that you get points. I'm really motivated that everyone gets points for it because it should be easy, but if you don't follow the instructions, you won't get points, all right? Then the only other thing that we are going to do is we're just going to practice being able to highlight and comment on a document in Google Drive. You don't actually have to read this article, but I thought just given the theme that I would find an article about children's pop culture. So I found this article about men who like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. It's actually a pretty fun article. Again, I don't want you to read it. All I want you to do is just to practice doing this. You see how I just highlighted that in blue and I'm pressing a comment? That's how you make a comment, but I want to make sure that everyone practices doing that. So I want you to practice making a comment, and then I want you to practice refreshing the document or closing out of the document and then coming back in so that you can see your peers' comments. And then I want you to practice commenting on your peers' comments. You don't actually have to say anything. You can just be like, hi, or, that's just keep that in mind. You don't actually have to read this article on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I just thought it was cool and it fit our theme. And it really is a fun article. So if it's something that you are interested in reading just for funsies, let me know and I will happily give you extra credit for it. It's a cool article. So that's it. That's it for what we're doing in class today. For homework, you are going to be reading Tobin et al., Images of Gender, Race, Age, and Orientation in Disney Feature-Length Films. It's actually a really cool article where these group of academics did an analysis of something like 26 different Disney films, classic Disney films. So you're going to be reading that for homework, and you're going to be practicing the active reading model, the thing that you read about during class, okay? So just keep in mind that just follow these notes. All of these notes are just saying is, yes, you're supposed to see the comments in the margin of the essay. And if you don't see the notes, follow my pro tip for how to get those notes to show up in the margins. And then please don't resolve people's comments because they're supposed to be there, right? And, make sure too that if you're one of the first people to read the Tobin piece, that that's cool. Like you'll read it and you'll put your comment on there. You'll just want to close out of the document. Maybe give yourself, I don't know, an hour or two, and go on a walk, do whatever, and then just come back and see people's comments on the document when you open it, and then respond to them there. So don't freak out if you're one of the first people to read it and you need to pop back in. Okay. Yeah. And then just remember that you have to read the Tobin piece and have put one comment on it and two responses to your peers' comments to get those points for homework. Okay. So that's it. Cool. We're going to have a good day. And obviously, I'm here in Zoom if you need me.